little kind of insight. I want to talk about a bit about the anatomy, right? Because no matter what instrument we play, the way we hold the instrument, the way we use um, our hands, other parts of the body is so important. Um, and everything is connected in the body. All these muscles. If you have um, tension in your lower back, that might also affect your shoulders. It might affect your face. Um, it's all connected like that, and so being aware of that and being aware of that when we're playing is it's kind of a subtle thing that might help us get to the next level um, without having to put any extra practice in, just by understanding how the body functions in terms of playing music. Now, if you think, if I'm going to play this note, although I want to kind of just be using as little effort as possible and as little muscular use as possible, and really I don't want to be switching on any muscles I don't need for this movement, okay? Although that's the case, and I want to be isolating as much as possible, really the sound of that, the sound of that isn't just coming from my finger, it's the whole body, really, because things in the rest of my body can affect the sound of that. It's quite amazing. I was just teaching a student a week or so ago, and what I could see instantly when playing the scales, she's doing sort of and basically this muscle is being switched on when it doesn't need it. Basically, you can play you can look right at your hands. You can use these. If you just want to isolate the muscles necessary, you can just move this. You don't need the rest of your body, right? If you're switching on these muscles, you're unnecessarily contracting them. They're taking energy. You don't need it for the movement that you're doing. Okay, you can look there, and if you need to look closer, it's got to be done in the most relaxed way possible. And that's easy to see when you're observing someone else. Okay, it's obviously not as easy as just to witness on yourself unless you're playing on a camera or in a mirror or something like that, or recording yourself and looking back. But just from telling her about that and being aware of that, then when she did it again without moving the neck, the tone sounded so much better. Okay, and you all, if you were watching, you all would have heard it. So it's not just this that makes a sound; it's the whole body, and just being conscious of that and being aware of that is basically the first step. You can think, what am I doing with my head in relation to the rest of my body? If you have that thought, you might be playing for a while and then you tense up, and you'll notice it more if you're just being consciously aware of it and you're just thinking, what am I doing there? Do I need to be switching on those muscles or not? Right? Okay. And it's like I like to play bass with the whole body, especially when I'm performing. Like I want to be feeling it with my whole body, especially and accenting things and really looking like I'm into it. So let's say you kind of accenting stuff with your face, like when it gets to a little hard passage or something like that. It's strange to see myself in the screen when I do that, but it's like I like to accent things with my whole body, but you've got to be aware of. Let's say you were playing a phrase that had a very technical line. Let's just think of something off the top of my head. Something like. Okay, I'm just making that up, but it's like when I get to this bit, right? That's obviously more difficult. If I tense up and I go, and I'm using these muscles and I'm switching everything on,
that is going to slow down. First, basically, switch on this, slows down the signal from my brain going down my arm to my fingers. Okay, every muscle you contract and switch on is going to slow down that. Okay, so we want minimum as possible. So we just want to having the same. Look at how relaxed I am when I'm doing this. We want the same feeling. And one thing is just breathing as well. If you've got the same breathing motion, because I can still breathe whilst going, but a lot of times you might be playing and you think, oh, a difficult bit's coming up, and it's like you don't just constantly think this just happens. You tense up, you stop breathing, you switch on all these muscles around here, that translates down to your arms, and you wonder why it's more difficult. Okay, so it's just something to be aware of when you're playing. Think, what muscles am I using? Am I using more muscles than I need? And even like a drummer. Okay, so if a drummer is playing a roll on the snare, if they want to play very fast, the common thing, we're going to think, oh, we have to be fast, we need more effort, we put in all our muscles like this. Okay, but no, that's it, we don't need any. If that's the motion of playing the snare, then to go faster, we don't need any other motion to be included. It's just the same motion, which is, let's say, I'm just moving these wrists, but quicker. Nothing else, right? Anything else that switches on, because you're trying to go as fast as possible, and then if you then are adding on all these muscles, it's going to slow that down, and that also, when you bring in that tension, it makes your muscles tired. Okay, because especially if you're playing for a long time, you get tense, and then you start to feel tired. That's why it is, because you're using more energy than you need. Cool, good. All right, that's just a little. Hopefully that's helpful. Just a little kind of bit of what I've been thinking lately about the anatomy. So, right, Congolese music. So, thumb technique. If you can't do this, just use the 2 fingers or however you usually play. In Congo, we use the thumb on a downstroke and the first finger on an upstroke. Yeah, some of you guys have obviously been doing this for a while with me, but it's always good to practice this and come back to this. So we just do a down, up, down, up, down, up motion. Okay, we play D, 5th fret on the A string. And we can use that thumb on every string. Let's go to the octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you play guitar, you can still do this technique on the guitar. You saw Silas from Brazil doing a great thumb technique. Now, if we're going to go faster, remember what I said about how do we play fast? We don't add in any other motion, any other muscles. So if you look, if I'm going quicker, there's really no difference in my hand. Okay, obviously I've probably been doing this for longer than you, so you might struggle at that tempo. But if you're struggling, you still do it gently. We'll slow it down a bit. Yeah, it's a nice gentle motion. It's relaxing. Breathe. And if we speed it up, no change in my forearm, no change in my neck.